Hello, ladies, and possibly gents. Um, I'm sorry for the late video here. Um, life, life. Anyways, we are working on our sacral chakra today. Last week we did a grounding practice to help with just grounding down, releasing anxiety, letting anything go. This week we're working on sacral, and that is more for working on that. I like to think of it as divine femininity energy that we're working on in our sacral area, our womb area. In regards to, of course, breast cancer and everything that we've gone through, a lot of things that we have experienced, and I don't mean to single out any other women, of course. Many different traumas for different things can happen to where we feel our femininity may have taken a hit. I had to go through a mastectomy. I had to go through a hysterectomy. I'm now in menopause, and I'm in my 40s, and I'm dealing with things that I don't think I should be dealing with, but I do, and you do, and a lot of us do, and we deal with it in whatever forms we can, whether it's yoga, good self-care, supplements, and trying, of course, to stay away from Western medicine for menopausal symptoms, because often our tumors grow with estrogen and progesterone, so we have to avoid that. So yoga really helps with that. This flow specifically helps with that femininity, that divine femininity that we can tap into despite having a uterus or not. Feel sexy, feel confident, feel also maybe how to express ourselves in this chakra. So let's get started with laying down on our backs today, tonight, whatever time it may be that you are watching this. Of course, this is super duper amateur type of filming here, and any suggestions are welcome. I just want to put this out there again for you ladies who are unable to make it to class and who just want to just kind of do a little bit of yoga at home, focusing on your self-care and yourself in general. So, starting on our backs today. So, we're going to start with bringing our soles of our feet together and bringing it down into sleeping butterfly. You could take your hands down to your hips. You could take them above your head. And, trying to get myself in here is kind of funny. So starting here, just letting those knees fall out to the side. If they don't go all the way down and it bothers you, you can always put a blanket, you could put a pillow, you could put a block. You can lower those heels further away from you. You can bring them up closer to you, whatever feels good. I like to take my hands onto my hips and just sending that energy there. Start to bring that focus into that breath. Deep inhales through your nose, pushing that belly out. Deep exhales through your nose, sucking that belly button in. Start to visualize that beautiful orange circling the hips area. Circling through the hips and healing anything. Any stagnation, any negativity, anything, just clearing it out. That orange is almost like a beautiful light that's just shining so bright that it's killing anything, any negativity, any issues. And start to bring an I am intention into your mind, whether it be I am sexy, I am beautiful, I am creative, whatever it is you want to bring into your mind. Start to really bring that into your mind's eye. 2 more breaths here. And then start to flap those knees up and down. Working on that Shakti shake, releasing anything here. Knees go up and down, flapping up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come together, bringing them into your hips. Oh, squeezing them in. So you can see it's kind of chilly here this morning. I have reindeer socks on. And maybe going back and forth here. And taking those knees all the way over to one side. Breathing there for a couple times. Maybe if I come on my side, that might be better. We'll try this out, ladies. Aha. Maybe babies. So knees are to the side. Aha. Check that out. Looking over that opposite arm, that right arm, couple breaths. And then switching that side, bringing those knees up, using your abs, dropping them over to the opposite side. Taking that eye gaze over that opposite arm, that left arm. Inhale, bringing those knees up. And reaching them up, reaching for the outside of your feet for that happy baby. Pulling those knees down towards your armpits. Couple more breaths here. Feet come back together, dropping those feet down into that sleeping butterfly again, hands above your head. 3 more breaths here. Maybe sign it on that exhale. One more breath. And then start to bring those arms down, coming onto those forearms. We're going to tuck our hands underneath our glutes here and bring it up onto your forearms. So bringing it up onto your forearms here. Roll those shoulder blades back, letting that head drop back. And breathing here. Two more breaths. And then eye gaze comes up, pushing yourself up. Boy, making it in to a crisscross applesauce. Half lotus, lotus. Now you can't see my head. Beautiful. So taking it to that crisscross applesauce, however you want to do it. I'm warming up already just from the breath. Hands come to our knees. Start to do our kundalini rolls, rolling it around to either way, either the right or the left. Making big circles here. Large circles. Closing your eyes, inhaling on the way back and exhaling forward, or the opposite. Going with what feels good. Doing those kundalini rolls. And remembering right here, I am sexy. I have beautiful divine femininity. I tap into that femininity. I refuel it how I need to. And I'm sending that unconditional love to myself. Start to roll around the opposite way. Big circles. It's very windy here today, which kind of makes that anxiety a little bit higher, at least for me. So getting it out in my yoga is just a huge Huge thing in my healing, my daily healing. Start to circle a little bit smaller, bringing that energy down the spine, down the chakra center, and down to that sacral area, and making it to center. Excuse me, Gracie, go on. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, cactus arms. And one more. Inhale, reaching it up. And exhale, letting those hands come all the way back behind you. Hands come down, fingertips point towards you. Again, rolling those shoulder blades back. Opening up that chest. Raining down that light. And continuing that breath there. While I close this a little bit so you don't have that glare there. That's a better. 2 more breaths. And walking those hands forward. And letting that head fall down. Maybe shaking it, yes. Shaking it, no. Moving that jaw, letting anything go today. Anything that's bothering you. And really taking the time to change that thought process from, I'm tired, to I have lots of energy, or I feel worn down, to I am healing, I am taking time for myself. 3 more breaths here. And then start to bring it up again. Bringing those feet back together. Soles of the feet. Start to shake those legs again. Shaking them up and down. Doing some shaking medicine today. Really relieving any anxieties and clearing out that area. 2 more breaths here. Shaking those knees. Beautiful. Bringing it to center. Maybe grabbing those big toes. Shifting that weight back onto those glutes. Maybe taking one leg out. Playing with it here. Taking that other leg out. Shifting that back and forth. And if you can't straighten your legs, just take it how you can. Maybe playing with that balance. Bringing both legs out. And then bringing it down. Head comes down towards those feet. Forehead towards those feet. And curling it here into that little ball again. And right here, right now, taking this time to unplug any of those succubans. People that kind of plug in that negativity, maybe it's even the news or anything. Visualize clearing that field around you, that orange light. Clearing that field, maybe unplugging. Sometimes I like to visualize just things cutting cords here. 2 more breaths here. Stretching it back and forth, it feels good. And then walking it up. Beautiful. Taking your time and coming into that tabletop. And getting ready for some cat-cows. So inhale, dropping that belly. Eye gaze comes up. Exhale, that chin to chest. Really stretching that back up like a cat hissing. Pushing those hands into the ground at the same time. And then flowing here. Inhale, dropping the belly, eye gaze. Exhale, chin to chest. Stretching that back up like a cat hissing. And flowing here, a few more. Giving that stretch to the abdomen. That feels so good. Continuing that I am beautiful. I am sexy. I am healed. Can never hear that enough. I am love. 2 more. Making it to center. Start to do some hip twirls around. Go on, Gracie. Go on, girl. Twirling those hips around. Almost like a little pelvic grind here, but we're clearing out, rotor-rooting any issues there. Going around 2 more times to the right, and then switching it to, or left, whichever direction you're going, switching it here. Coming to center. I'm going to do some pelvic tucks that I learned in Shakti, Miss Crystal Sanchez, beautiful Shakti teacher. And we're going to just inhale small breaths, sucking that belly in. If you want to look, kind of like doing a small cat, but we're shh, 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 and almost like doing almost a breath of fire at the same time, sucking that belly in to shh. You could do it through your nose or your mouth. Shh, 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 and holding it there, flowing here back and forth. And start to walk those hands up a little bit, shifting that weight around to the right or left and shifting that weight all the way back. Engaging that core, engaging those abs, and come back as far or go as forward as you'd like. If your knees bother you, feel free to put a blanket under them. I had to start out with a blanket. Couple more times to the right, feeling that beautiful feminine sexuality energy 2 more times. And switching directions, going the opposite way. Maybe lifting your feet if you'd like. Coming around 2 more times. And again, coming back to that center. Taking those knees out to the side. Walking those hips back. Forehead down onto the mat. Peaceful warrior, feeling that love. And taking this time to release anything here that does not serve you. Any negative self-talk, change that thought process. Really change in that thought process. Anytime those negative thoughts come up, anytime those past traumas come up, maybe acknowledge them and then take a conscious effort to change that thought process. Sometimes I get body sensations that brings me right back to the traumas I went through. In a heartbeat, I start having those palpitations, I start having those fears. I've gotten to the point where I try. No, not every day is successful. We keep on trying. That I say, oh, I see. That body sensation is bringing up that anxiety for me. That body sensation is bringing up where I was so many years ago or so many days ago, whatever it may be. And I acknowledge it. I say, you know what, self, sounds funny, but I do. I say that. I love you unconditionally, even though you have these feelings, these fears, these negative thoughts. I love you. And let's change that thought process. Let's change it too. Whatever it may be at that moment, I love myself unconditionally. I am healed. I trust and put that faith out there that everything is going to my higher power's plan, God's will. I am healed. I am a child of God and I deserve to be healed. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then walking it back up into that tabletop, tucking our toes and walking our hips back for a moment just to stretch our toes. So your toes are underneath you here, walking those hip backs, sitting on your heel. And yeah, this can be a little uncomfortable. Maybe taking your hands to your side. I like to call this my superhero pose, my superwoman pose. Couple more breaths here. And then inhale, reaching those hands up. Exhale, bringing those hands down, this time tucking those toes and lifting those hips up for our downward dog. In our downward dog, if your heels are off the ground, don't even worry about more than anything. Let that chest drop through, that head drop. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other, taking it back and forth. And then we're going to do our Shakti shake here. So bouncing on the balls of the feet, bouncing those hips up. And again, shaking medicine, releasing anxieties, clearing that sacral space. And shaking for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Static. 2 more breaths here. I'm going to inhale, that right leg comes up, pointing it high to the sky. Exhale, bringing that right leg through into that lunge. Now here in your lunge, you can always drop down to that back knee if you'd like. Otherwise, finding that balance. Inhale those arms up. Now you can't see me again. So we're in our lunge here. Maybe dropping those hips down a little bit more. Reaching those hands forward and then bringing them down. Left hand stays down. Inhale that right arm up. Right hand comes down, pivoting that back foot to be parallel to that back mat. So you're pivoting it to be parallel to that back wall even. Right foot stays pointing forward. Inhale, bringing it up. Tucking that pelvis. Maybe I'll switch back to going up and down. Hopefully I'm not causing any issues here. So that pelvis is tucked in. Those balls of the feet, no. What are these? Heels. Heels are in one line. Left heel to that right heel. Then taking those arms out to the side. Beautiful. Hands could be down or up. Your choice. Again, your choice. And we're going to connect our femininity here. Connect with our fellow sisters. Reaching that left hand forward. Reaching for that bow. So your hands come together. Pulling that bow back. Straightening that front leg. Reaching that arm out. Same thing. Bringing it forward. Bending that knee. Pulling that bow and arrow back. Reaching it back. 2 more times. Bending knee. Pulling back. Inhale, bringing it forward. Exhale, bringing it back. Straightening that front leg. Reaching that right hand forward. Bringing it down onto that right shin. Onto the ground, wherever you're able. Triangle. Left hand lifts up. Deep inhales and exhales. 1 more breath. Bringing those hands forward, bringing it back into that lunge. That right leg comes back to meet that left. You're in your high plank. Again, if you need to, come down to your knees anytime. Same benefits in the base of the pose as a full pose. Engaging those abs, engaging those Kegel muscles. Slowly lowering it all the way down. Untucking those toes. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Taking a couple breaths here. Lowering it down. Inhale, up dog. So pushing that weight up. Maybe those knees stay down. Maybe you engage so much they come up. And then dropping on those knees. Hips back. Peaceful warrior. Deep inhales and exhales. Visualizing that orange here. Visualizing it clearing out those bad negativity energies that we kind of hold on to. As women, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And this is my time for refueling. And I love to share this with you guys, kind of to do a little connection, and also to let you know that even with everything that's going on, this mat, it's almost like a little island, your happy place, the place that you go to connect. Bad days, when you're sick, when you're happy, whatever it may be, take that time to come to your mat, even if it's for a prayer, even if it's for a meditation, even if it's for a little stretching, even if it's for lying down and crying and getting it all out. Take that time for yourself. One more deep inhale and exhale. And walking it back up into that tabletop. We're going to do our Shakti pelvic lifts real quick. So inhale with and keep doing that. Releasing it down for some cat-cows. Go away, Gracie. Go on, boo-boos. Good girl. Couple more cat-cows. Tucking those toes. Hips come up. We're in that downward dog again. Shaking that head, yes. Shaking it now, moving that jaw. And then start to shake again on those feet. Doing that Shakti shake on those balls of your feet. Shaking for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Stagnant. Inhale, that left leg comes up. Oh, both my hips popped, felt good. Exhale, bringing it through into that lunge. We're on that left side now, dropping those hips down. And again, you can drop down onto that knee. If you want to do it modified, you can just lift up like that. Same benefits. Or if you want, tuck that back foot leg, lifting up. Really reaching up here. Reaching for that higher power. 2 more breaths. Pivoting that back foot. Warrior 2, hands up or down again. Taking it to what feels good. Sometimes I take my hands down because it's grounding. Sometimes I take them up. Sometimes I do 1 up, 1 down. This is not super strict. This is just movement and showing you things that I like that help connect me. And then again, connecting with our other beautiful feminine warriors out there, grabbing our bows and arrows, women, Amazon women, reaching that right hand around, grabbing that bow, pulling it back, straightening that front leg, moving with that breath. And 1 more. Beautiful. That front leg stays straight, bringing that left hand down, teetering it down for that triangle. 2 more breaths here. And pivoting those hands around, bending that front knee. I think we forgot to do this before, so right hand stays down this time. Left hand reaches up and over. Or up. Bringing those shoulders, stacking them. Beautiful. That left hand comes down. We're going to take that left leg back to meet the right into our high plank. And just to switch over this way here. High plank, engaging those abs. Shifting back and forth on those toes. Beautiful. And then lowering it down onto the mat. Inhale. Up dog, cobra, baby cobra. Lowering it down again. I'm going to turn my phone this way again. I got a good Apple computer now that maybe I could do some filming on it, and I will get better. But I want, again, to get this out there for you ladies who want to try it. So we're down here on our mat, taking our hands to chest level, rolling those shoulder blades back, really engaging here, letting those shoulder blades come together. Let's take our feet apart, maybe wide on our mat, and then inhale, reaching it up, stretching that back. 2 more breaths here. And lowering it down, bending those knees, touching those toes. Deep inhale, exhale, pulling it back. And we're going to do a little bit of chaturanga push-ups here. Inhale, bringing it forward. Exhale, bringing it down. Inhale up, exhale back. 2 more. Beautiful, squeezing those elbows in. Oi, inhale it up, pushing those hips back. Peaceful warrior. Oh, feels so good. Deep inhales and exhales, feeling that clearing of that space there. And acknowledging, again, that feminine divinity. Sending that love out to our fellow sisters, sending that love out to ourselves. Most importantly, we're always taking better care of other people than our own self, it seems. At times, anyways. 2 more deep inhales and exhales. And maybe saying, I release, I forgive, I'm open to intimacy, and then bringing that weight forward. Tucking those toes. Inhale up. Beautiful. Inhale, that right leg comes up. Stacking that hip. Yeah, my gut sometimes. I love my belly. And then opening up that hip deep. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, bringing that knee through, dropping it behind that right wrist for our pigeon. So, you can bring that foot more towards the groin. Looking back at that left foot, making sure it's nice and straight. Again, if this is something that's not within your practice, feel free to just bend that left leg. Almost sitting in a, let me go like this. Almost sitting here. That left leg bent. Again, same benefits. Walk your hands forward. If it feels okay here, you want to take that left leg back. Oh yeah. Pigeon. Let's inhale, walk it up. Deep inhale, exhale. Bringing it down. Before it could come down onto the mat, onto the ground, you could double stack your fists. You could do one fist. You could place your hands down, placing that forehead down on your hands. And deep inhales and exhales, sending that breath to the right hip this time. And that right hip is our masculine side. And the affirmations from Sacred Hot Yoga training for that right side is, for the masculine. And the affirmation is, I lovingly forgive myself. I lovingly forgive others. So hold anything that we may have held on to, sometimes settles in the hips, settles in that area. So releasing that here, maybe repeating it a couple times. I lovingly forgive myself. I lovingly forgive others. A few more breaths, really feeling it here in that hips, letting it go. If it's when you're within your practice and you want to lay flat on the ground, letting it all go here. Breathing into those hips. And some days when you're like, I don't really feel like practicing, put on your favorite music, put your mat out. Go about your business at your home, and you'll maybe find yourself walking over to that mat. Maybe doing a couple stretches. Mainly just getting that mind, body, soul connection. Even if it's for a brief 15 minutes a day. 2 more breaths on this right side. And then start to walk it up, reaching that chest up this time. Looking up, maybe walking those hands back a little bit more. And taking those hands out to the side, tenting your fingers. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, bringing it down, elbow squeeze towards your rib cage. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale down. 2 more. Holding it at the top. Hands walk back a little bit more. Tucking that back toe. Right leg comes back to meet that left. Oi! Downward dog. Walking that dog. Bending one knee, bending the other. Shaking that head, moving that jaw. Again, visualizing that orange. I'm feeling the difference from your right to left. Couple more breaths. Let's maybe shift forward for a plank and bringing it down, chaturanga. Downward dog. Beautiful. 3 more breaths here. 3, inhale, that left leg comes up. Maybe open up that hip so we did so on the other side, stacking that hip, stretching it up. Reaching it up again, and exhale. Bringing that left knee behind that left wrist. Shifting that right leg back. Looking back, make sure it's nice and straight. In our pigeon again. If you did so on the other side and you brought that other leg up, feel free. Move it forward that way. Otherwise, that right leg's back. Start to walk it up, straightening those hips. Both, if eyeballs were on the hips, they're both pointing forward. And then start to walk it down. For our pigeon on our left side, our feminine side. I lovingly forgive myself. I lovingly forgive others. I don't hold anything in my hips. I release it all. I am open to intimacy. I release and forgive anything I'm holding in my hips. Letting it go here and going wherever you did on that opposite side. If you went down flat, if you double stacked your fists, if you did one, just creating that equality, that balance. One of the other affirmations I read earlier in regards to the sacral area was the sweetest or the sweetness of life flows through me and brings joy. I love that. Hips are about joy. So moving any of that negativity out, bringing in that beautiful joy. Three more breaths here. Start to bring it up. Tending those fingers again. And bringing them maybe a little bit back. Maybe below those, I'd say below those shoulders. Inhale, reaching it up. Stretch it up. Exhale down. Maybe a little bit further apart. Inhale again, playing with what feels good. And up. Exhale it down. 2 more. Moving out that the cracks and the pops are good. Reaching it up, stretching it up. Beautiful. Hands come flat on the mat. Tucking that back foot. Left foot comes back to meet that right. We're in that high plank. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I am sexy. Lowering it down. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Whatever feels good. Pushing it back to peaceful warrior. Ooey gooey, lovely warrior. Peaceful warrior. I'm visualizing again that orange circling around those hips. Clearing that shite out. Grabbing that third eye back and forth on our mat. And coming back to that I am intention that you created at the beginning of class. Starting to walk it up. Slowly bringing yourself into a seated position, maybe that crisscross applesauce. Bringing one hand to your abdomen, one hand to your heart, closing your eyes, rolling those shoulder blades back. Feeling that breath from the base of your spine coming all the way to the top. Visualizing that orange light clearing out that sacral area. And knowing that you are exactly where you need to be right now, right here. Filling this cup. Releasing those anxieties, releasing those fears that don't help us throughout our day, throughout our life for that matter. Releasing it here. Coming to that center. Hands come together in prayer position, bowing our head here. Thank you, sisters, for taking this time to practice with me. Quick release, quick clearing of that sacral chakra. And from my heart to yours, from the love in me to the love in you. Namaste.
Mwah. My lovely sisters. Hope you have an amazing day, amazing week. I will be putting up a solar plexus class later this week. So get ready for some abs, is all I'm saying. Sending love. Have an amazing, amazing day, week. Sorry about the amateur taping, but you get the gist. And again, sending love. Warrior sisters. Have a great